Hello and welcome back to the Extra Innings Baseball Show. I am your host, Logan Stump, and with me I have my co-host, Jordan Wiegand. How's it going, Jordan?
Hello.
How you doing?
It was showtime this week in Baltimore here.
Yeah, showtime. So we got a lot to cover, I guess. There are a lot of different things to cover this episode, and we're going to get into some collectible things. We're going to get into Jordan's trip to Camden Yards, and he went to a couple of games down in Baltimore, or up in Baltimore. I don't know exactly where you are as compared to like on the map. Where are you? North of Baltimore?
Yes, so it's going down to Baltimore for me, but up to Baltimore from you.
Okay. Yeah, because that's right, because I live in Florida. That's
yes.
Right. Okay, yeah.
In case you forgot.
I did. I definitely did. But no, so we got a jam-packed show. I guess we can start with let's start with the Shohei Ohtani stuff, just because it's fascinating to me. I don't think I've ever seen two-way players play, maybe in minor league at some point when I went and watched Class A play in the River Dogs, which was a minor league team around where I grew up. But just I guess my first question for you is, what was the environment like in Camden Yards? I know that you had mentioned something along the lines of, how crazy it was just because he was in town.
Yeah, lots of Shohei Ohtani jerseys, lots of Mike Trout jerseys. Unfortunately, he was not healthy to play. He got injured like in, May? And I thought by now he would have been back, but so I was hoping to see both of them. But I only saw Shohei Ohtani. I think we had 16,000 there yesterday, which we don't get a lot of. I think we average like 8,000 right now, so it like doubled it. And it was a hot night. The seats in center field were $20. People were really packed in there, and a lot of people sneaking down into there. So we had a mess of where, somebody's sitting somewhere and then the person comes back and says, that's my seat. And then those people move again. Everybody, I guess, hoping for home run balls or something, but it was a lot of fun. He didn't pitch all that well. I mean, he did leave with the lead. So there was that. I started videoing his first pitch, and that's when Cedric Mullins hit a home run, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got another home run in the first inning as well. So he gave up 3 home runs total. I think he gave up 4 hits. So when he left, it was 6-4, and the Orioles would come back and win 10-6. So it was a lot of fun, and everybody was there for Shohei, I think. Yeah. Even Baltimore fans. But I will say, once we started coming back, the atmosphere was great. It felt like a playoff game. They walked in the winning run, the tying run and the winning run. But even the tying run, we had people high-fiving each other around us, and it was like as if we just hit a walk-off home run in Game 7. That's the kind of atmosphere it was there, which is sad. I was laughing to my friend David. I was laughing after we were all settled down after that at bat, and I just started cracking up laughing. He was like, "What?" I was like, "We seriously just celebrated a tying walk as if we just won the World Series." But hey, when you're 0-19 in that streak, and you're looking at tying the Orioles streak of 0-21 from 88, and you're looking at other streaks in baseball that you're looking at, and you're like, "Oh, we faced the Angels, and next we face the Rays." And the Rays are the best team in the American League. You're like, okay, we have a really good shot of it actually going 0-24, and then making it even worse. So to get the win last night was great, and then we followed it right back up with another win today. So that was really fantastic.
I was going to say, so was there a buzz? I mean, when he steps to the plate or when he's on the mound or when he shows up, is there a buzz in the ballpark just from Oriole fans and Angel fans or just baseball fans alike?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, everybody was just talking about it in the ballpark. Yesterday, he didn't bat all that well. Yeah. He had 3 strikeouts, and some Oriole fans were like, I heard one guy yell, "We came here to see you." Do something,
That's brutal.
Yeah. I think that was also like right out. I think even then that was like right when he gave up the first home run to Cedric Mullins. Like people were like, "You're supposed to be better than this," whatever. But yeah, I mean, even today he steps up to the plate. There's tons of kids in the stands because it's August. He's like their favorite player, so they're not in school yet here. By the way, they're not in school yet here. So parents taking their kid down to see Shohei Ohtani. He leads off, and he gets like people clapping and people cheering for him, even Oriole fans. Then he comes up and in the second pitch hits one onto the flag court. I was taking a video of that as well, but I didn't track the ball as well on that one.
Right.
I was actually too busy looking at the ball that I kind of ended up moving my phone a little too far. But yeah, it was fun. Today was not as crowded. I think we had like 8,000 there today, but it was not as crowded as yesterday, I guess because it's the afternoon Thursday game, but I had taken off work for it. And yeah, it was just a fun time. Like, I can't believe it. I got to see him pitch on yesterday night, and then today I got to see him hit a home run. So really worked out well that I didn't go Tuesday because he didn't do all that well. Tuesday, we like intentionally walked him at one point, I think, and the fans were booing. We're booing that. So to see the home run and then see him pitch yesterday, just like I got what I wanted out of seeing Shohei.
It's weird because so I was thinking about this and it hurt my head. I was thinking about it as like you're talking, because because you don't see it. Do people know the rule as far as DH? And because you guys have a DH in the AL, and that's really weird to me because you can hit your pitcher if you really want. Like you can,
they can
take down that DH. Yeah, it's so weird to me because you never see it happen. But like I was thinking about it, going, wait a minute. What do they do with the DH then? Because if he hit, then I was like, then he obviously doesn't have a DH, or so does somebody else become a DH? Like it was just, I had to think about it. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen that, but I guess
it like a national league. It was just like a national. It was as if we were an American League team playing by American League rules, and they were playing by National League rules. So he, when he would leave pitching, they would then have to like either pinch hit somebody or maneuver stuff around with the field and stuff. Some games he goes into, like right field after. Yeah,
he plays after.
Pitching, he did not. He left the game after pitching the sixth inning, I think it was, and he was out for the rest of the game then. So we got 6 innings of him pitching, and I think 3 at bats. But yeah, funny story. There was a guy behind us, a kid behind us.
The same guy that yelled, "We came to see you."
No, he was down here. But okay. The guy behind us, kids behind us, they're like, "Is he listed as DH or pitcher?" When he comes up to bat, and they're like, "It says he's a pitcher." Like they know who he is, but they were like, I think they were confused, like you said, about the rule. Like, is it going to show that he's the designated hitter when he comes up? I'm like, no, because he's pitching. Like, he is the pitcher. He's batting as the pitcher. So, but today he was the DH. So, they played
so confusing
today.
Yeah, it's really confusing. DH rules are confusing as it is because if you're used to the NA or the NL, I'm about to say the NHL. Hopefully, you're not used to the NHL. NL, then it's just. Like the DH exists, yes, you know that, and they hit for the pitcher. But like the two-way player, I'm guessing that the rule didn't really have to be revised until Shohei kind of shows up. But honestly, though, you could probably if you really wanted to get out of it. If there's different ways to, you could have a position player throwing and add an extra hitter or something. It's weird. The two-way player thing is just mind-boggling to me, just because I've never really seen it, and I don't really watch their games as much because they're on the West Coast. They're hard to watch, but he's just fascinating to everyone. I think that's what makes him so interesting, just because of the story, coming over from Japan and then playing like he does, being one of the best hitters in the game, also one of the better pitchers in the game. It's shocking. So,
I think he had 7 straight wins before yesterday.
Yeah, and I guess you really did get to see a lot of things that were great, a lot of things that were rare. You got to see the Orioles win,
Yeah. Fun stat.
Yeah.
So before yesterday, they were 0-19, but their last home win was like July 28th or something. So, so it had been almost a month of no home wins. Yeah.
So as like an Oriole fan, how do you feel like right now, looking forward into next year, because you guys just got ranked the #1 farm system in the major leagues by Pipeline, and a bunch of Baseball America and a bunch of other people. Like how do you feel? I mean, you guys are close to just getting by with 40 wins or something like that. Is it like you're anxious? Are you like, oh God, here we go, we're just going to keep spinning in circles and circles and circles, or is there like some optimism?
I'm having fun. This was fun 2 games, I'll tell you that much. And you know what? I don't want to say it's nice to be losing, because it's not. But after, like, okay, when I was growing up, we were a really good team, up into the 90s. Mike Mussina, Brady Anderson, Cal Ripken, the works, Roberto Alomar, Then we get to kind of the dark years, where we had 15 years of no playoffs, whatever. Then we get to 2012, and we're good. And then 2018, we kind of put all of our chips in 2018 for some reason, and we didn't have a good farm at that point. And we had to start, once we were really bad, had to let go of trade Machado, had to do all this stuff. So we had like a 6-year window, which was actually more like a 4-year window, because it closed in 2016, and we just, I guess, thought we could get by in 17 and 18. And it's been bad, right? It's been really bad since. We're closing in on 3 seasons of 100 losses. Last year is the exception, because we didn't even play 100 games. But I don't know how to describe it, but like, I've said this before. Some of my best memories at Camden Yards is when we suck. The atmosphere last night was awesome. And, I was listening to our local radio station on the way home, and, the guy on there was saying, that people always want to crap on Baltimore. They always want to crap on the Oriole fans. Mm-hmm. Here we are, 0-19. We had 16,000 people there. Yes, a lot of them were there to see Shohei yesterday, but when the game circumstances called for it, the fans were willing the players. They were behind the players, never booing the players. They were there. They had a good time. We won the game, and it was a lot of fun. And, you could feel – I told my friend Dave, I was with him at the game yesterday, I turned to him when it's like 6-4, and it's like the 7th inning, and I said, we're winning this game. I just told him, I said, we're going to win this game. And I actually meant it. It wasn't like a joke, like, oh, we're going to win. It was like and, it just, you could feel it in the stadium that we were going to win. And it was, other moments that I recall, like watching from home, the 2011 game 162, where we had nothing to play for except for knocking Boston out of the playoffs. And we did. And that ranks highly on my list, even though we sucked that year. And then you have 2010, I was sitting in left field. We were losing to Boston. We came back. And, all these Boston fans were talking smack to me and my cousin. And then when we took the lead, we started talking smack to them. We won the game. And that was a season where Ty Wigginton was our all-star representative, and he hit 2 home runs that game. And nobody remembers Ty Wigginton outside of Baltimore. So it was, some of those moments are some of the best moments I have. Of course, like I hold a special place for, the playoff games I've been to, and when it's crowded and packed. But Yards is, half empty. It still has that charm and atmosphere at times. And, I was able, especially on a hot day like this, I was very thankful it wasn't because, oh my goodness, I was sweating buckets, man.
Yeah. And I know it's sad just because I know, I mean, if you've ever watched Royal games of the past when they haven't been that bad, even like when you guys start the season out, your guys' fan base is known to be one of the best in the game. So it does suck to kind of see the team flounder.
And I will say too, because I didn't get to touch on your pipeline thing there. I meant to. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But this is the first time I really believe this. Like, I know I used to buy the hype as a kid, like, oh, we're going to be good. And we did have. We turned out Machado and Wieters and all them. But with what they're trying to build here is more like the Rays, right? Where they can call up a player and he'll be good. And then they can trade him if they want to and get more players. And then they have another shortstop right behind it. Like they traded their shortstop in the middle of the season while they're the best team in the American League. And they haven't missed a beat, Tampa Bay. So that's what they're trying to build here. And, for people that don't know a lot about Baltimore, before Mike Elias took over as GM, Peter Angelos, our owner, has kind of passed it on to his kids right now. But he would not allow our previous GMs to do international scouting. We were not in the international. We did not have anything set up in the Dominican Republic. We did not have anything set up anywhere. We were not allowed to scout there. He was against it. So Mike Elias comes in, the Angelos brothers, the sons that have taken over from their dad, has allowed Mike Elias to create the scouting network, which is going to take years because, they always scout those people very young all the way up. So that's going to take years to pay off. So the fact that we have our farm system at number 1 in Pipeline, number 2 Baseball America, number 1 in Fangraphs is astounding because we're not even the scouting internationally hasn't even paid off yet. So when that pays off, that's going to help us some because look at all these teams that come up with all these international players that don't come through the draft. And then we did not have an analytics department before Mike Elias. So he really sold the Angelos sons on analytics on this thing, and they're going that way. And he really only took over in 2019, which is why I always thought it was very disingenuous of Buster Olney and Ken Rosenthal and all these people out there talking about how we could have 100 losses seasons, because one of those is including 2018, which was not under this regime, and was honestly, our payroll was like 160 million, which was high for the Orioles, and we put all our chips in the basket. We had extended Chris Davis, we signed Alex Cobb, we put all of our chips in the basket in 2018, and it didn't work. The team was just out of gas. We had sold off all of our farm at that point, that really we were looking at dark days ahead, and now we're starting to see the turnaround of that. And another thing I have to say is 2020 we had no minor league teams playing, so we kind of lost a year in development, that too. So the fact that we got this fast of a turnaround of the farm system being ranked high is great. And I always see people on Twitter though saying like, they should move the team, or the Orioles have been really bad for 15 or 30 years. They should be a lot better than they are now. We can't look at what could have been, should have been. That those drafts did not turn out. We have to look forward from when this new GM took over. That's going, and so far it's going well.
Yeah, I feel like I can kind of relate to what you're talking about, just with the Cubs. And when Theo took over in 2013, or like when they started rebuilding that 2013 season, I had that feeling of like they were tearing it down, and they sucked for a while, really, really bad. And they got all these young players to come up, and like you said, it was like, okay, we've got a bunch of shortstops, we've got a bunch of middle infielders, we've got a bunch of outfielders, and if some of them pan out, then it's a World Series team. But if you look at the Orioles team, it kind of has that similar makeup where all of your big top prospects are sitting in AAA, it seems. Looking through your list, it's pretty
a lot of outfielders.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yeah.
What they're also doing is like last regime, or 2 regimes ago, it was a while ago, okay? It was either through McPhail or through Duquette, where they said we're going to grow the arms and buy the bats, right? It didn't work. We sucked at developing pitchers, as you know, because Jake Arrieta left our team, went to your team, and was a stud. So that didn't work out. Elias has barely drafted any pitchers. I think what Houston did. That's where he comes from. Let's not forget what Houston did. They took a lot of players in the draft and then flipped those for trade. So like there was an article from Dan Connolly in The Athletic, he covers the Orioles, saying that the farm system is actually not as good as everybody's rating it because we don't have a top pitcher outside of Grayson Rodriguez, which is bullcrap anyway, because our pitching. You don't have to rely on, and this was in the middle of the losing streak, so it felt like Pyle and the Oriole time, but you don't have to just develop the arms. You can go buy some and you can go trade for some. And what they're taking a lot now are college outfielders with big bats that they're able to then, if we have a lot of them, you just flip them and get the pitchers that way. That's what, they traded for Verlander, didn't they? The Astros, they traded for Garrett Cole from Pittsburgh. So
Zach Greinke.
right, exactly. So, like there's other ways to bring in pitching than just relying on the minor league. So if you're any Oriole fans out there, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm buying in on this regime and this. So I'm having a fun time because I know that next year should be better. And I think we'll see some of those top guys come up by the summer.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, I guess kind of moving on into a different topic and kind of going into still staying with the Orioles. We wanted to share some of our collectibles because I know baseball fans, I feel like baseball fans out of most fans are the ones that collect a lot of things. I think just because of the historical reasons, and I also think just because baseball's got easier things to collect, like a nice wooden bat on a shelf looks good, baseballs look good, but like you start throwing like weird other objects like basketballs, I mean they've got like the actual basketball itself, but then you're like, okay, what else can I really collect? Whereas baseball, I mean it's got tokens, it's got little knickknacks, it's got, I mean, so much history. And because I think the season's such a marathon, I think we get really wrapped up in things that we can collect.
Lots of promotional giveaways.
It's true, yeah.
For baseball game teams.
It's true. So, again, I think we wanted to share. So, I guess, I don't know how you want to do this, but I guess we'll let you go first because we're kind of staying with the Orioles. What is one thing that you collect that you want to share with the listeners?
So there was in 2012, like they came out with the statues in the garden over there by the picnic area. And that is, they had a game for each of those players and they would give out a promotion. They would give out the statue. So even on games where I couldn't go, I was able to get somebody in my family there to be able to get me one of those. So I do have all those statues. What I've been collecting throughout this, journey of getting the going to all the ballparks is I'm trying to get, a magnet of each ballpark. And I must say, the Nationals have the best looking one. So if you're watching the video, like, let me know what you think. But this is the Nats Park one.
Oh, wow.
Really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Silver, almost like a pin type thing, right? This is now they weren't selling these when I went to Tropicana last time, so I had to buy this on eBay.
Oh, okay.
Just a plain.
Because I remember when Matt.
Yeah, they had a cat or something.
It was like the worst magnets ever.
Yesterday I got this Camden Yards one, but it doesn't say Camden Yards on it, and that's what I liked about the Nats one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
still a cool magnet though.
Yeah, it's nice. And then I got the Hall of Fame one.
Oh, I love that.
And then, what's this one here? The Extra Innings Baseball Show.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that show. It's a great show.
You can get merch, magnets available if you want. Follow the link. But yeah, so I've been collecting those. That's kind of just started this year. So that's a new thing. I have like bobbleheads. I have baseball cards. I think that's right here. So I have these baseball cards, and I separate them like I have a cover sheet that's for my minor league cards, and then I have a separate section for my MLB cards.
Oh, yeah.
So I have ones all the way back to Upper Deck 1991 sets. I have an
Wow.
old Cal Ripken card as well. I got all these. Yeah, I think my dad bought me that set because he knew my birth year, 91. So I think he bought me that. Another thing I'm trying to do when I go to stadiums now that I started with Nats Park is getting a scorecard and scoring the game. So
did you score the one today?
I did not. I do have a scorebook with me, but since I was going by myself, I didn't really want to have to deal with it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like where I'm gonna put it, like if I have to pee or something. So
like take a scorebook with you.
But they handed me these cards when I was going into the shop today too. So
Nice.
I'll probably open those up, see what we got.
Nice. What's your so like if you had to pick out of your collected items that you've just gathered over time, it could be anything. What would you say your favorite thing is?
I think it is probably the statues because they look really good. They look like really good statues, and once we have probably our forever home, I'm hoping to have a section that I can put them on the wall because they used to be up on my wall in my bedroom through everyone's house.
I was gonna say you could like put them up on the wall. You could get a case. I think you should get like a basement next time you guys move, and you can make it like the podcast studio. So then when I come up to visit, I can come and just we can podcast together. But no, so I'll kind of move into mine. Mine is more of like I got random things that I collected, but I don't really want to bring them in. I've got a couple things that I've got just because they're collectibles that they're not like current, obviously, but they're ones that mean a lot to me. But I mean, I collect anything with Cubs shirts. I love Cubs shirts. Like every Christmas, I usually go on Fanatics and I just get as many shirts as I can. I know you and I talked about anytime one of our baseball team wins one of those pennants or they win some of the divisional series or if they win.
Anytime they're in the playoffs. So like in 2012, I got a wild card shirt or it said playoffs. And then in 2014, I got a divisional winner shirt. And then 2016, I got a shirt that like made for October. For playoffs.
I was going to say, because I know we do that. I've got Cub like glass cups, kind of like this one. I've got all sorts of random Cub things. Like I've got a Cubs like Slurpee guy that I think Ashley or her mom got me, and it was like a little guy with like a straw out of his head or something. It was wild. People got me a lot of things in 2016. Just like, oh, he'll love this. So I just have a bunch of random Cub things. I've got like a little Cub ball on my keychain. And I will tell you, Jordan, the day that the Orioles win the World Series, if you're still on this earth, the amount of money that flies out of your wallet onto any of the merchandise is just insane. So I'll show a couple things. I guess I'll show this one first. So Ashley made me this one. And like I said, people will get you random Cub things, right? So I've got like the life, like all the Cubs stuff, all the Cubs memories. I got that because she went to Chicago and they found like a candy bar. And I guess I ate the candy bar. It wasn't very good, but they gave me that. But yeah, Ashley made this for me. The curse and
that's really cool.
Some of the photos that we've taken, Ashley and I. So we went to Marlins Park, but that year, so we put those in there. But yeah, it was really cool. It was, I love that book. I'll get it out every once in a while and flip through it just because it's all Cub stuff. And so that's one of my cool ones. It's probably the coolest thing though, just because everybody does this. But I went on eBay and I got like the Chicago Tribune. So like it's like at last, and then it's everybody that got traded. And nobody plays with us anymore. But yeah, that's probably my coolest one. I think I just like the newspaper just because it's like it's real. Then it feels like it actually happened because there were times where I just felt like I had to pinch myself because it didn't feel like it was real. But anything World Series that I run across, I'll just buy it because it's once in a lifetime. Seriously, for the Cubs, but. Yeah, I hope one day you can also buy because I think I spent the night they won the World Series. I probably spent like $300 like on T-shirts and hats and memorabilia.
I think I would, depending on what they come out with, I'd really just probably want a World Series shirt. That's like the number one thing.
I've got a jacket.
And then something for the wall or something.
Yeah. But I think collectively it was like $300 on Cubs stuff, like Cubs t-shirts. I got 2 of them. And then I bought my dad one. And then what else? Oh, I bought a jacket and a couple other things. But then I went through and bought all their playoff stuff. Like that was the same night. I was like, I'll just go buy it all because this was a memorable.
Yeah, buy the divisional winner, buy the conference winner.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great. So no, those are my collectibles. I don't, I probably won't get into baseball cards as much just because right now you can't find any here. But I collected some when I was little. I remember I used to collect a lot of them because I guess I could show these. I got these for my housewarming gift. So I showed Jordan these before, but I'll get the Anthony Rizzo. My favorite Cub was my favorite Cub. Got the game used jersey, and then this one's my favorite just because of the editing. But yeah, anything Cubs I'm a sucker for. I go on Fanatics every Christmas, and I always want stuff off the Cubs thing. I end up linking way too many things, and people are like, I'm not buying you all that Cub stuff. But I'm like, why not? I want it. But and I've got like the W flag. I collect a bunch of Cub flags. They're all in my classroom though, so I can't bring those home. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It was a lot of Cubs.
I just opened up these cards.
How'd that go for you
today? You know what they're from? They're from National Baseball Card Day from Saturday, August 10th, 2019. So they all say that on here, but I got Dylan Bundy, who's no longer an Oriole.
Nah.
Richard Blyer, no longer an Oriole. Michael Givens, no longer an Oriole. Richie Martin just got designated for assignment. So
they were like, just give this poor sucker these cards.
They were just handing them out as you're walking into the shop because they're probably like, we have these things from 2019. Just get rid of them.
That's bad.
Yeah, but so for people wondering why we were talking about collectibles is mainly because it got us thinking about it because Topps is no longer going to be able to make baseball cards. MLB is signing up with Fanatics, who has yet to make any cards at all. So I don't know. Look, apparently there are some ties like for Fanatics and MLB, like some of them owners own Fanatics or something.
Yeah.
So a little bit of dipping in the company account, I guess. But this sucks for me. I mean, like Fanatics is mostly online, right? So like what? Are we not going to be able to find stuff in stores? Are we going to be like, are their card quality going to be good? Because they haven't ever made cards. Like it's very strange to give a whole deal to a company that hasn't made cards yet. And they just signed with the NBA, Fanatics. And now the NFL Players Association has signed a 20-year deal with Fanatics starting in 2026. So it seems like every league is going to this, which is not good monopoly-wise.
Yeah.
I think I'm worried about the future of Topps and Upper Deck and, all these card makers because – and Panini, like there's, what is always good is like, exclusive deals are never good. Like Topps has been exclusive for MLB for like 10 years now and, or maybe 15 years. But I remember like I have cards from Upper Deck and Topps and Fleer, like all in the same years, like it's not good to not have competition. And we're about to have where Fanatics, who has yet to make cards, is going to have deals with right now like 3 of the major players associations and leagues to be exclusive. So I'm really worried about the collectibles going forward and baseball cards because I don't collect them like I used to, but I like being able to go into a store sometimes and like see a pack and be like, I'm going to buy that. Like I bought a pack when I went to the Hall of Fame. They had them there. I was like, I'm just going to buy this pack of cards. They have some at Five Below right now I can go get. But I'm worried about, how that's going to go with Fanatics going forward because, one of my Fanatics shirts that I got at the MLS Cup like after like 2 washes, the whole logo is coming off. So I'm
Yeah.
really worried about how their cards are going to be, and we don't have anything to base it off of. So it's strange. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's weird because I mean, growing up, like you said, it was Tops, it was Upper Deck. Like those are the two that I really remember fondly. And I mean, it was a big deal. Like, and you looked for the logo, like you looked for Tops because you knew they were better. Actually, you know what's funny? So for the show, I was looking around to see if I could find any, because we were going to do like an opening, but I couldn't find any. And when you go online and stuff, you know the first brand I look for, it's Tops. Like I just immediately go to Tops because I know the quality of the card and I know, this is the exclusive brand of it. But now it's not, and it does kind of like Jordan. I think it kind of reminds me of like the Amazon thing where everything's available on Amazon, so you don't really go anywhere else. When I'm looking for sports memorabilia, I'm not gonna lie, I never, because a lot of times when you go to the MLS store or MLB store or basketball, it goes straight to the Fanatics page. It's like, nope,
They got a monopoly.
Yeah,
you cannot buy
yeah,
you cannot buy a hat
right,
or a shirt without it taking you to Fanatics.
right.
It's insane.
Yep. Anything online, like the online. That's actually why I like to go to games. And I don't get to go to mini Cub games, but when I do, they've got massive, like third party stores that sell Cub stuff, and it's cool stuff, like shirts you don't ever see, like shirts you've never seen before,
Unlicensed shirts,
all that kind unlicensed. Of they're made to be funny. Like we have shirts, and I know the other teams have started wearing them, but like the obvious shirts was a big thing with the Cubs. I think the guy that started it was a Cub fan. Mean? So they're obvious shirts. So for instance, let me see if I can find one and share it. But it's basically what it is is like obvious comments, like obvious shirts. And this guy just writes these obvious statements on a shirt, and you go in and it's like I'll show you. Hold on. Like for this one, for instance, let's just share this because hold on, I'll share it with. This is my first time sharing my screen.
Exciting.
I know, I'm so pumped. All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so like this. So the greatest game ever played was on a Wednesday in Cleveland. Obviously talking about Game 7, but they've got like different ones. So they've got, this one that says, what if I told you 17 minutes in a rain delay could wash away 108 years of a drought? So just like obvious weird shirts. One of them's like, I'm a left-handed pitcher and, for relievers and stuff like that. Or I'm in the bullpen because I'm not an athlete and stuff like that. So it's just funny shirts like that. But I mean, they've got those around the yards and stuff. And I don't know if it's Camden's the same way. Like there's tons of Cub shops around. Yeah. But
no, around us, we used to have like little pop-up guys, that with like a table.
Yeah.
And they take cash. But with COVID right now, we haven't really seen a lot of those. But yeah, mainly there's one big team store in Camden Yards, and then there's like little ones throughout that have all the same stuff.
Yeah. So, but no, it's I think it's sad that Topps is going away. I think my dad collected baseball cards, and he remembers having Topps baseball cards, and it's been a brand that's been around forever. And when you think about baseball cards, it's the one I think of. So
I think they said they've been doing baseball cards for 70 years. So yeah, it's going to be like they're not going to be able to make a baseball card, and like some companies, like I think Upper Deck or another company other than Topps has the MLB Players Association deal or something. Mm-hmm. So like they're able to make them without the logos of the teams because they only have license to the players. But starting with this, the Players Association and MLB are going with Fanatics. So they can't even. There's no options at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, I hope they're good quality, but like you said, it's hit and miss with Fanatics. I mean, I've ordered some things from Fanatics that are great. Then I get other stuff that like doesn't fit me after a day. So, and wash it and it's bad, and I don't know. But I guess it's sad. But anything else that we didn't cover that we wanted to cover? I can't think of.
I was on TV.
Yeah. Look at you. what a guy. Is that Dave next to you?
Yeah. I was standing up, looking to see where that ball landed. Yep.
That's awesome. Who sent you that?
Oh no, I rewatched it on
you rewatched it.
on the MLB app last night. I came home, I was still high on the wind that I turned it back on and watched it on TV.
That's hilarious. I love it. But I think that's it for us. I don't have anything else unless you got anything you want to plug. No. So, all right. Yeah. I think over the next coming weeks, we'll have a couple more episodes, but it's getting right into that grind. I think we're getting ready to get into a part of the year where we can get into some playoff preview and unofficially kick off the podcast. We'll be covering postseason baseball. So when that comes around in October
5th.
Yeah, October 5th. So I'm guessing probably like right around the 1st of October, they'll do the preview where we can do a preview on the playoff teams, kind of give you our thoughts on the teams, maybe rank them. Maybe we'll do a little bracket here and there and see if Jordan and I can pick correctly. Hopefully we do a lot better in this than we do in some of our other prediction shows for the soccer podcast that we do. But I think that'll wrap us up. If you want to follow along on Twitter, that's where we're most active there, and Instagram. You can follow us if you just search the Extra Inning Baseball Show. The tag on Instagram and Twitter, I think, are different. So I think Twitter is Extra Inning Baseball Show or Extra Inning Show. Which one?
Extra Inning Show.
Extra Inning Show. There it is. Yeah, Extra Inning Show.
And Instagram is at Extra Innings Baseball Show.
There we go. So it is the Extra Inning Show on Twitter without the E, because again, we don't make E's on this podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
The Extra Innings Baseball Show is hosted by Logan Stump, edited and produced by Jordan Wiegand, and we hope that everybody enjoys us talking some baseball in this MLB 2022 season that is upcoming. Thank you.